meeting to order. Stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Norton?
Here.
Leeds here. Pruitt is absent. Johnson?
Here.
Edward? Here. Turk is absent. And Barner?
Here. Approval of February minutes. These are in your packet. Just had a chance to look at them. If anyone has any comments or corrections? All in favor of February minutes as printed, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. We'll come to our first public comment. You're waiting. No one else? Larry?
Evening, everyone. Go over some of the things from the county. First, the carcass patrol is back active by the sheriff department, so they started to pick up the deer that you can see on the side of the road. Inmate count was, for some reason, down about 20 from the previous month, both in 10 from the federal and 1 from the local. Not sure why, but it was a convenient time because the corrections staff was down a couple, so that helped them that they can still handle it just fine, and so they're hiring some more correction people to make that up. I got some more information regarding the juvenile justice system, juvenile care center now. That there were two things. First, the judge was not. She had overstepped her bounds and was out of her lane to do the name change. Turns out the board of commissioners were supposed to do that. Of course, we didn't know that. She didn't know that either. But so now we both learned, but that was separation of powers type of thing. Actually, what was going on there. But the reason she wanted to change, and it was fine, I think, is the stigma that goes with kids with the juvenile justice center. And just that versus a juvenile care center is a much more sounding, and then sounds right like you're a criminal, and affect even how those behave. So it was for their benefit. It had been the name for years. Turns out in 2023 is when the name change was starting. They didn't even complete the full name change. They did get a sign, so we spent the money on the sign, but they didn't get some of the letterheads or different things, and didn't get around to doing it, which is actually cool because now we don't have to change it. So it did save some of the costs, but that was why of what was going on, and we're keeping that. We proved that change. It was juvenile care center, like it's always been. Pinecrest numbers are all stable there and fine. In the corrections department, we're going for a grant from MACF and the Missouri Community Foundation to help fund with the Michigan Hope. That's one of the pre-trial stuff that they can release people early that they can. Non-violent ones, usually people in the drug program, actually with rehabilitation there. So we're going after a grant from the Missouri Community Foundation of $37,000, and that will make up part of the shortfall that was coming from the state when they reduced the grant money from the state. So we appreciate the different philanthropic organizations we have that give those kind of grants. So it's really a blessing to us as a community to have those kind of groups. I think I mentioned we had a few months ago we had investigated. I was one to check there was a computer program we were getting from the University of Michigan to look at teach people about the vaccines, and for people who want to get a waiver for kids going to either preschool or kindergarten, things like that, there's a certain regimen of vaccines you need to take, but you can opt out, but you have to get a waiver. There's a training associated with it by law, and so it's how you go about giving that training. And we did that software program. I checked it. Jim Thomas did too. The program was fine. I mean, yeah, it's going to push for using vaccines, but that's what they would be getting. And the nurse as well. And people can still look and say, use their own judgment, whatever they thought. So that's up and going, and they've had some good reports on it from the people who take it. So it was very easy to use. In their HR director, she retired last fall. She's still been staying on until we get the new replacement, and the replacement has been selected, but we haven't, as of today at least, we still haven't released the name. I think they're coming from some other jobs, so they're giving their notice and all that's going on, so we won't hear that. And that person's significant. They're the ones that do all the work with a lot of the union contracts, amongst other things, and so that's a fairly significant person, or a significant role in how their personalities like and such. So but I'm trusting we're getting a good one, but I don't know who that person is yet. But they're starting April 6th, so that's not too far away, so we'll be hearing pretty soon. The GIS system, that imagery, the new imagery, about in late March, early April, they try to get it before the leaves come back, but the snow's gone. That's perfect, but so you're gonna they want to see what it looks like at that point. And so they did that in 2025. They've done all the reviews, all the approvals, all the cleaning up, getting rid of all the identifying license plates and stuff like that, because those photography systems they have, they'll see that kind of stuff, so they have to clean all that up. That's done, and that may be up and running by the end of this week or early next week. So that'll be doing that. The last time we did this was in 2020, and they had done it in April or March, April, just before the flood, as you recall. And then it was that company, I forget now, Coursera was the company that redid the aerial photography around the lakes, or just where the lakes where they fall. Not the whole county. I thought we'd done. I didn't know how much it did. It was just around the different lakes, and they turned that around within about 2 weeks, so they could still use that for some emergency work that was going on. So it was. If you look at the maps, you'll see some goofiness around the lakes, and that's because they've redone that. But that new system will be up and going. We do that every 5 years. It looks like it must take about a year to get all the photography so we can see it. But that'll be coming up any day now. So that's I did want to pass on one thing. This doesn't have to do with the county, but everyone here is going to be affected by it. You've seen that the road construction is starting to come on Business 20 and Buttles and so forth. Now, that was not a county sponsored thing. That was a city thing. I want to make sure you don't blame us. And that's a 2-year project. So they're going to be starting. They're going to do one of the lanes this year. They're going to be working on Patrick Road is the one it's going to be totally shut down for quite till sometime in November, I think it is, when they, it depends on weather and stuff, but it's going to be down all year as they work on Patrick Road and Indian Street. And so they had a review. I don't know how many would have gone, but that's what's going on. They're going to turn the Buttles into those 3 lanes. Are going to go to a center turn lane and a single lanes going each direction, and then the other lanes are totally closed until the construction is done. They're putting in underground tile, all sorts of different stuff going on. So some major work that's going on, new lights and such, and then next year they'll swap the roads around. So it's 2 years of unpleasantness. So, Merry Christmas. So that's all I had. Any questions or?
How is the carcasses being addressed to pick up? Just off of sheriff reports or?
Well, I
people call
think
in?
we, I didn't get a great answer. I know it's on their on the app. If you go to in the Midland County Peace Officer, their media things, you can get a form to it. I don't know if we could call. I meant to ask him, but he wasn't there at the meeting this week. Do we just call?
As I say, on
do you have some
the,
information?
you report it on the app.
Yeah, that's.
You can just fill the information
My
out.
phone's so old, it doesn't have an app.
And so if you don't, I'm sure you can call
Yeah.
and just let them know where
Yeah,
it
sure
is.
they could call.
I mean, you see a lot of them that have been killed that didn't get reported by a
Right.
sheriff or whatever, and it just,
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yes, so, do you have any idea? I don't know that, I don't like to bother 911, so I don't know, I
No.
think some people have done that. Particularly maybe I'm in Coney sometimes, but.
I have the regular sheriff's
Did
number.
you see the card?
Oh, okay, I just called the sheriff's
But
office.
again, I didn't know if
Marcus
that
has
was
a link.
calls or-
Try and see if you see one, and then, because I'm curious myself, I don't have a straight answer.
I'll bet you they're going to Todd IT,
Animal control.
animal control, I'll bet you.
No, that's not part, well, actually it is part of the, I think that is part of the sheriff, the.
That is part of the
structure.
sheriff department.
Yeah, you're right, but that would be, that would be the county. I know it's in the union contract that we were just negotiating.
Mhm.
Interesting, that, no one's thought about that because he hasn't been doing it, it's been, they're getting people from the jail. That's who they're using to give, ones for part of their community service fulfillment and stuff like that. So, and gets them out so that, a well-behaved inmates makes everything go better at the jail. So that's a little bit of that, so, good question. Anything else? All right, so I have, thanks.
Thanks, Larry. Approval of tonight's agenda. All in favor of the agenda as printed, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. Reports and correspondence, I just thought the day, marked the day that repainted and patched up the hall.
Done a nice job.
Yeah. I think they're done now, aren't they?
Yeah.
They're like doing parts and they come back and redo it. Not really much else going on. Todd?
Nothing much, got an election May 5th, I'm probably doing ballot for that, towards the end of the month.
Will you
Get the
just,
absentees sent out,
will you just do one?
yeah, we'll just do one precinct again. That's the same thing now. it's just-
Mhm.
What, there's only one thing on the thing.
Could be two, Meridian might have a school
Thing, okay.
thing on it, so. That's
I missed the community or the public because I got the cord, but it's for Todd anyway. We had some issues we hadn't yet confirmed earlier that we had spent all the COVID money in a timely enough manner that we met all the criteria.
Mhm.
Have we spent all the COVID money?
Yeah, it's all spent and done. Once the parking lot was done down there, that was the end of it.
Okay,
It was actually just a little bit more than what we had in COVID money for everything down there.
okay.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's it.
Craig?
No, sir.
Keith?
Nope.
Brian?
just as Bryce talked about getting started 1st of May on the bathrooms at the park, so. The old bathrooms.
Well, we need to, that's usually when we move that porta john back down here. Should we get another one?
Still have the other two bathrooms.
Okay, they'll have that. Good.
Yeah, they'll have those.
Unless you think the little boy's gonna pee on the backside of the building, it might be smarter to have a porta john that close for it.
It's possible.
I don't know.
I
I think you should be fine with the other 2 porta johns.
Yeah.
I mean, we really should encourage people to use that parking lot over there.
Mm-hmm. Be a good thing for it, so, okay. That's it? Reconciliation of the clerk and treasurer.
Nothing new, we're still just through November.
So, I don't know what, as a board, we need to do or can do if we need to get extra help, because now it's gonna be going on 5 months, not reconciled.
Yeah.
Cause it's December, January, February, March,
Right.
and then
Yeah, before.
I don't know what, I mean, she keeps saying that she's working on it or has it or close, but I don't know
I
if
know
we can.
John Pruitt called and asked if she wanted help and she turned it down.
And I don't know if, I know she's had some, recently, I think, some health issues, but
Yeah, she's
her
going.
deputy is supposed to be, I mean, I tried to get
Is,
training with BSNA, and she turned that down.
is what's your face still our deputy? Her
No,
name?
her son is,
Oh,
Kevin.
so she didn't get rid of, kinda can't get her name. He used to do.
Yeah.
Oh.
But I don't know if we need to get someone else, hire someone else above and beyond, just to come in and help them.
That's the duty of.
That's her duty,
I
yeah.
don't know that you can.
But I don't know what our other recourse is, I guess.
I don't
from
think you got a lot of
MTAs.
recourse, to be honest with you, other than turn it in and, you know, the state reprimands her or they do other things.
I mean, cause reconciliation, and then our, I don't know if she's even gotten those remainder of those items from the auditor.
I haven't gotten an email again.
I haven't either, so I mean,
But I don't know if they haven't.
I don't even know if so far, I mean, haven't heard either way from
Yeah.
the auditors, so our audit isn't even done from last August, and,
When we start again.
yeah, we're 3 months from the end of this year, and, yeah, I just don't know what.
So do we need to talk to the lawyer, see what legal rights we have to.
Or maybe MTA and just find out.
See what legal rights we have to get her help or get her expelled from it, so, I mean, cause it's not making
That would
Todd's
be
job
good.
any easier, nobody's job any easier.
Yeah, it's like, they're just that far behind, it's hard to, when we start budget meetings and we're gonna be that far behind again. Cause budgets start in 2 months, so.
Yeah. Yeah, so we'll have to see what you did the previous year if you're 5 months behind.
Yeah, and to have a current thing, so, I guess,
We're gonna have to make the phone call to the lawyer, Russ.
well, MTA first and find out which direction, I'll keep
Yeah.
everyone in. Let them know you guys know what I found out and just see what we wanna do, but it's just, I mean, cause yeah, between that, I know those checks from the county that from a year ago, they were reissued and sent to her, but they said you might wanna have her do a automatic deposit.
Oh, so she doesn't have to cash them from now.
Yeah, it would just be direct deposit, so. But yeah, I mean that, and even Michigan class, don't know where that's at. I was hoping they have a financial report, but that isn't there, so. Anyways, okay, so just through November there still.
Mhm.
Authorization for the payment of bills,
I'll make the motion.
I'll support it. Has everyone had a chance to look at them? Any questions, any board public comments? Roll call?
Lee, yes. Johnson,
Yes.
Van Wert,
Yes.
Varner,
Yes.
Norton.
Yes.
Nick's not here. I know Greg, he's had some medical issues and he's staying down in Florida, so he's kinda said he'd try to get back once in a while, but he's still, handling the permits, so. Code Authority,
Code Authority, so we had an abbreviated meeting last month because of the emergency management meeting that was happening the same night. So many of our board members need to go to that as well. So we didn't really cover a whole lot, we went over a handful of the necessities that we needed to do, but it was pretty quick again. So you do have the two new lists of all of the building and electrical, plumbing, and mechanical permits that have been issued last 2 months, so. But they've moved into their new offices, we're still, the cost of our rent with the county went person and all of our costs are going up, I would expect to see them, propose to increase the rates again. So, that's about all I have. The next meeting is, if everybody'd like to join me, the next meeting is next week, Thursday, 5 o'clock, County Services Building. And it is in the chambers for the county commissioners this time.
Did rent go up a lot, or?
It went up, I'm trying to remember now, it went up,
It's commissioners.
I'm just, yeah, I'm
I
gonna
think it was like a third, wasn't it, or something? It was a big amount, the area went up about double. That's kind of why they increased the rent. But, because I was asking that too, and I want to hear some things about it.
Yeah, so unfortunately, I left the packet in the office, but I wanna say it went up about $100 a month. So, I mean, it went from about $450 to like $550, something like that a month. Now, we really can't complain about that because we get a lot of things for that $550. You know, that includes all of the electricity, it includes the copier. So, you know, there's a number of perks that come with it, and so it's really not that bad, but it was something that we really didn't expect. So,
Yeah, I don't know if they knew about it either. I
yeah,
only heard about it.
yeah, there wasn't a whole lot of talk about it. We had discussed whether or not things were gonna change because all of this, the arrangements changed, but there was no definite number from the county until it was all said and done. So, but so we'll make do with what we got. And, there is some discussion though that because we've added another person and because we have so many files, we're going to have to do something. They've got, I think they said they've got 7 file cabinets in that room. Because they've got 5 years of all of the building permit documentation.
You have to keep those too, don't you?
Supposedly you have to keep a bunch of it for the life of the structure plus 5 or 7 years, something like that.
Correct.
Yeah, well, it's, so there's some discussion about whether or not we can scan things and then distribute paper copies, or whether or not we're gonna distribute them back to the townships. Right now, it's unsure what legally we can do, so. But, you know, if we distribute them back to the townships, it just means we gotta come up with room for them.
It's life of structure plus 7 years.
Life of structure plus 7 years, there you go.
That's what this, I printed out some of these retention.
Yeah, so essentially forever.
Yeah.
So, I don't know what they'll end up doing with all the documentation, but I certainly hope they don't try to give it back to us because
Yeah,
I don't know where we put it.
yeah, no, we already got file cabinet full of it.
I suggested her to talk with Carmen Bacina and about either talking about Jenny Amway for the register of deeds, who did a bunch of that, or with the county drain commission, that they were doing they had to do a bunch of things with their documents. So there's 2 different places that have done some voting and having to do that in the county to start putting those documents on the electronic form. So there's a couple who would know, just maybe know what kind of firms, and you would get an idea of price and such, but
Right.
it's still on.
I honestly, I don't know. There are a couple firms that advertise in the NTA. I expect that there'll be somebody up at the conference that we can talk to. The biggest issue is the county has IT resources to take care of housing that data. And whether or not the county is housing it locally or if they're housing it in the cloud somewhere, we don't have those resources. So it becomes a little more difficult for us to try to figure out where we're going to put it, so to make sure that it's secure and we can get to it. Yeah, so we'll talk to what resources we can find, and hopefully, like I said, it can't be super expensive because there's no money for that. So, and the other big issue is a lot of those documents are floor plans. Scanning those in.
Big files.
Yeah.
So, that's a big sheet of paper. So, anyway, that's what I got.
All right, thanks, Keith. Parks, I don't think there's really,
I don't think there's anything new going on there.
will they open the bathroom 1st of April?
Probably depends on the weather, if we got snow on the ground, probably not, but
Usually it's
we'll have a
cheaper than-
porta john down there until
Yeah.
we do open them. Just depending on the weather.
Mhm. Okay, fire department, John.
I'll get this back on record, first, please. For the month was it? February. We got 31 calls, 17 medical, 7 lift assist. Seems like we're really, really busy picking people up. 3 car accidents, 2 mutual aid calls, 1 carbon monoxide, and 1 smoke alarm investigation. 31 for the month, 76 for the year. No rocket science, nothing really going on down there. We held the countywide medical training, the weekend class, so we had 80-some people visit our building. So, building's busy, sheriff department's using it this week for some, I'm not sure what they're doing. I think some union business. And the state police, I think I told you, took our old tables. So they're, what they do with them is whatever the state police does with them. Does with them, does with them. Questions, comments? How many of you guys went to the MTA meeting, was it last week? Where they talked about the, hiring a consultant for the fire departments to just see how we're organized as fire departments and if there's ways we can do things better? John approved it.
Yeah.
Used to be John and I going by it. So, the fire chiefs are in the process of getting a grant through, I'm not sure who we're getting a grant through. Jim Thomas is the one that's working on that with us. To hire a consultant to look at the county, to see if there's a better way we can organize the fire departments. We're all hurting for people. Daytime, it's 1 or 2 people everywhere, all the fire departments, so we're behind the 8 ball. I think the average age of our fire department's probably close to 50, so.
Yours is the young one then.
It's an aging,
Yeah.
at 50, we can put on air packs and run around houses, fires like we used to. So, we gotta do something different, whether it's we go districting or, so that's way down the road. Right now, we're just looking at hiring a consultant to look at the whole county and see what we're gonna do, so. I'm just giving you guys a heads up that that's coming. It's gonna be a slow, long, slow process.
They talked about, they'd asked at the meeting, what can the townships do? And they said, put some money aside to help pay for it, because they didn't know if they could get, that, they don't know how much that thing's gonna cost. Could be $50,000, $60,000, $100,000, they don't know. And so they were looking at some of the townships chipping in for that, some of the money, and all of them going together.
Not the fire chiefs are not asking for that.
No, they
The
asked,
township-
and then at the townships asked them, hey, what should we do? Everyone could see, nobody was no one was surprised when they heard. It was just worse than they thought. And so, okay, how can we help this?
Because right now, the fire chiefs are planning on doing it all with grant money, not getting any board,
And township money.
any township money.
But
Until
lots of
the
grants and
recommendations come out, and then
Figure
it's
out what,
gonna be different, yeah. But you're looking 2 to 4 years down the road for any of that kind of stuff, so. I know the rumor was out there, we're combining, and all of a sudden, fire departments fire engines don't belong to you guys, it belongs to the county, and none of that is true. There's absolutely nothing planned for that, so rest assured, probably as long as I'm gonna be your fire chief, nothing like that's gonna happen. That doesn't mean I'm not gonna retire in 6 months. That's always on the horizon. I spent a week in Florida and it was kinda nice. I thought I would move there because they got alligators, but, so, alright, just so you guys are aware that there's things going on in the background. Won't affect any of us for quite some time. Questions, comments, any remarks? Okay.
thanks, John. Planning commission,
Didn't have a
we
meeting.
have a meeting, cemetery.
There's nothing, they're picked up sticks on the nice days, and that's about it so far for down there.
Has that, speaking of fire, that sidewalk gone back down?
It's moved on, it's not like this anymore, it's about like an inch or two
To be
now.
honest with you, I haven't been to that door.
I'm checking it every week, and it's gone from about 2¼ inches down to about an inch right now.
Yeah, it's gone down quite
Yeah,
a bit.
come back.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're gonna do to fix that, but.
Well, I don't know either, we've talked about all sorts of scenarios, but we don't know what's there, you know what I'm saying? Don't know
What's
if
underneath it?
water running in and soaking it underneath, we don't know, so.
Well, you know who you bought it from, the property, so. It could be all swamp.
It'll be warranty.
The old guy. Assessor, do you wanna do border review?
Yeah, I was gonna say border review this year was kind of light. We didn't have a lot of people, and we also we've moved the poverty exemptions. Most of them are gonna be done in July, so, some of them didn't have tax returns done and stuff like that yet, so. But I think we had, what, 12 or 14 total?
15.
15. So, yep, so, little light. Still need to pick up a couple new people to have alternates. There were only 2 of us to do them because Greg wasn't here, so. But we got through it.
Most of them were poverty ones.
Most of them, we actually didn't have to do much with. They were having questions and not sure.
Okay.
Because for the first time, the assessment statement had a comment on it about the veterans. And so it didn't clarify what qualified you as a disabled veteran, but it's 100% disability, service disability. So things like that, we're like, maybe we need to put a note down in the box that clarifies that next time.
But yeah, a lot of them were just assessed values. Some of them
Yeah.
went up high and they
Normal.
thought their taxes were gonna go up crazy, but.
Yep.
All right, thanks, Renita.
Mhm.
Come to our first agenda item, is the ITI maintenance agreement. I think everyone had a copy of it. It's just, the phone system here. Got that. And it's, yeah, if it's paid up in full, it's.
5/29/19.
We had to keep ITI even though we went to Spectrum.
Yeah, Spectrum gets it in the building, then ITI
Distributes.
I'll make a motion that we pay that.
I'll second.
Any more board comments or questions? Any public comments?
Is there any way the fire department can get hooked into your phone system? Because right now, I have the phone forwarded to my phone because I can't get signal from upstairs down to my desk.
What's wrong with that?
Actually, I ignore most of it. And I called, AT&T won't work on it.
We don't do it, yeah, Spectrum now, it's no AT.
They won't work on it because he come and checked it. He says the phone comes into the building, but from here I can't tell you how it gets to your office. There's supposed to be any stinking wires in there, but.
Because there's 2. Didn't you say
Yeah,
there's
there's 2 lines,
But
I
there's
think,
still a ton of wires.
yeah,
You just can't figure out.
yeah.
It's something to do from upstairs down to my office, and
Well, we
the
can
Spectrum guy won't work on it.
The
won't
phone,
work on it?
no,
Spectrum?
the phone doesn't work in your office?
No, it's dead. But if I go
Okay.
upstairs, there's a phone up in the mechanical room.
Sure.
That's hooked into my number, that works up there, but I'm not gonna run up there every time the phone rings.
Right,
I don't go upstairs anyways.
You could get ITI to work on it. ITI would come in and do that, would trace that wire. I'm sure that it's just probably a broken wire, but tracing out that wire is the tough part, yeah.
Who can I?
So you can talk with ITI, because that's what they do is, or, was it Town and Country did all the wiring in there? You could talk to them, but I don't know what they would cost. They're not local, are they? Are they local?
Town, no, they're outside.
Oh.
Like, is that local?
Pardon
It's a fire department.
You could talk to either ITI or Town and Country.
Okay.
They both of them, you just tell them that you need a line trace because it's not working. You'll pay whatever the
You got a drop ceiling in your office, right?
What's that?
You have a drop ceiling in your office, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's not like busting into drywall, so.
Right. Yeah.
And it's probably to all conduit and stuff. I mean, they're all.
When did it stop working?
About a year ago.
Was it during the installation of all of the AV and, it was not, okay. I'm just thinking, you know, if they unhook something
Plug something.
accidentally.
I thought I was doing great because I had no voicemail or anything.
Bonus, you
Nobody
know.
wanted to talk to me.
Nobody complaining, nobody.
Yeah, either one of them would probably want to do it.
I didn't mean to interrupt, but thanks.
Where were, oh. We're ready for a vote.
Yep.
Roll
Ready?
call?
Johnson,
Yes.
Van Wert,
Yes.
Barner,
Yes.
Norton,
Yes.
Lee, yes.
Next agenda item, the Drain Commission sent, wanna know if we'd be interested in paying off prepay the assessment for that Midland Homer Mount Haley drain. It's all in here, it's $31,521. If not, it'd be spread over 15 years and probably be 4.5–5% interest, so they're just,
Cheaper, if we just paid it.
I'll make a motion to pay it all off.
That won't be able to bring in, Russ.
Craig asked me that too, it's gotta be, I don't know which one it is,
It's gotta be over off Gordonville Road. That's the only part that we got in touch
Is
with.
that Midland County Drain Commission would pay?
yeah,
Yeah, is it around 4.5 mile road or thereabouts?
4 3/4.
4 3/4. They're by Lashway Farm and that.
Could be.
There's a
Second
drain.
one.
I know
Yeah,
the drain
that's-
comes down, goes across to the creek, goes to the river there.
Bring up the layer, but,
So I'm assuming Mount Haley's paying on it, Midland Township's paying on it?
yeah, that's just,
Yeah, whatever townships touch it.
yeah, the project cost is 900,000, so they must be doing pretty big
Chunk of it.
digging of it. But our assessment is, 30,000 of it, so.
Did we get a second, anybody?
No.
I'll second it, or do you want?
I can.
Okay, cool, go ahead. Okay.
Is there any more board discussion or public comments? Roll call?
Van Wert,
Yes.
Barner,
Yes.
Norton,
Yes.
Lee, yes, Johnson.
Yes.
Okay, agenda item number 3, we have Mark Campbell, he's right here. He's interested in being, I'll send everybody his stuff. He'd like to be on a committee for 4 or 5.
Need somebody new?
Already talked to
He
him.
would like
That's when he picks.
ZBA, board review, or cemetery. I reached out to ZBA,
Barry?
Barry, but he hasn't gotten back with me, just.
CBA doesn't, what are we, once maybe a
Well,
year?
it depends, some years it's 2 or 3, but yeah, most times one.
'Cause there's- Yeah, Barry and
Some
then
years.
John and,
Right.
and then Joe Concord on
Depends
it.
on how busy you wanna be.
Yeah.
But like board review,
Yeah.
that'd be a good.
Is there Parks and Rec, is there spots on there too?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
You can be on more than one. Yeah. I think
Parks
you
and
can be on
Rec,
more than
Parks
one.
and Rec is
Yeah.
more of an informal
Yeah.
committee.
Yeah, that's more
Yeah.
like a real.
Assigned to anybody.
Right.
The
Board review
board
could use it.
review.
Yeah, and talk to him about that. Next
But-
year.
Would we appoint him now if we wanted? or-
Board of Review's appointed generally in November,
Yeah,
December,
the
so.
December rate, right?
But we can point them, are we short people in there right now? 'Cause we could, if
You're
we're
short.
we
He,
can
he
appoint-
can't get training
Sure.
to qualify to be on Board of Review this year. They've
We
already
won't have one
completed,
this summer again,
I don't think they do anymore.
No,
before the next quarter.
They finish at the end of February.
They do,
So-
yeah, February and sometimes, yeah.
I thought maybe they'd have one before the fall.
Mm-mm.
Winter.
No,
Okay.
those are just little ones, but.
Yeah. We should be okay for those two, but for next year,
Would we appoint him now? No, just,
because you have to reappoint all of us
yeah.
later.
We're short on the ZBA though, right? Are we?
No, because there's Barry, John, Lupinen, and then Joe Concord. And usually, I mean,
There's always
Sure.
an alternate, but
yeah, we could appoint with ZBA too if you wanted.
Oh, the zoning?
Zoning Board of Appeals, that only,
That
once,
meets-
twice a
Yeah,
year.
the most is usually once, twice a year. Some years not hardly at all, other years, busy years, be 2 or 3 times.
Soon.
Yeah, zoning board of appeals.
I mean, we could appoint him to that,
Yeah.
Yes, certainly.
if he'd be willing.
Good point to the other, just effective for training, you know.
Well, we'll do it.
Oh, you want to do it in November, or whatever. it is.
December, yeah, when we reappoint everybody.
Yeah.
And we'll
And you're welcome to do the park committee too, if you like, that's just a strict volunteer thing. Show up on park committee night.
So you can forward his number to
Yeah.
John.
This is clearly with the zoning board, that sounds
Good.
consistent with the work in the county and on the land bank. A little bit more aligned.
Hmm. Are you on that or
No,
trying to?
yes. And I think, I believe there's nothing for someone from Emmett or Coleman, is my understanding.
Okay.
But the person needs to be part of the organization, so this appointment would be important, would be important.
Because that's a paid, is that a paid one that they get some?
What's that? CBA?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so then it's kind of like an employee, that's part of the requirement.
That's the key to, so yeah, we could,
How long are their terms and when do they start and end, you know?
When was the last time we were playing?
we just reappointed Joe, I think,
Yeah.
last fall.
Are they staggered?
Yeah.
Because we want an effective date, you know.
Yeah, I don't know exactly without looking. Okay. But I mean, I think I know Joe promulgated it was last summer sometime, so I mean, we could,
August or September.
we did mark now.
Yeah, we can do it effective now, but we have to put down when the end of the term.
Yeah.
Go with that, I don't know if that what the book would say, but I'm looking in the, it'll take a minute to figure out, but
Yeah. Just put it up in the, too.
we could put it effective now and then,
Yeah, effective
and
today,
date
and then we'll just have to get an end date.
to be determined there.
If you call it just through the end of the current term.
Right.
Effective
Put that.
immediate
They're gonna
till
want
the end
more
of
than
the-
that. Okay.
Yep.
But. no, I can
I'm
look
just
that
saying
up.
until you look it up.
You hear Russ talk with whom, or on the zoning board of appeals?
Barry Thurston,
Barry Thurston.
he's the chair of it. Do you have any?
We just need a first.
I'll make a motion.
Also, right in a second.
Any more board discussion? Got any more questions? Roll call?
And the four contacting Barry.
Barton.
I'm Gibby's. Yes.
Norton.
Yes.
Lee, yes. Johnson.
Yes.
Edward.
Yes.
We just had some interest. Agenda item number 4, I don't know if we have to do, like, just the public to go, but we just thought about, we had some volunteers who talked about it, board review, and, Renita said she would do it, I didn't know if anyone wanted to do it like on a Saturday, either this Saturday or next Saturday, or, even just for a couple hours, just to get started, I think, just to kind of go through some of that stuff. I know I went on MTA website, they have all the retention schedules. And I did print out 3 of them, this is for building department. Got that one, this one might be, oh, for elections.
Yeah.
And then this one is.
There shouldn't be any election stuff in there. There shouldn't be. Should
Not there.
No.
What about what's up above?
That's all audit stuff, that's all
Okay.
financials.
And then for the assessing on how long you keep tax records.
Right.
Yeah, you probably, do we still have cards back here?
Yeah.
Back here?
So
Yeah.
there are those.
No, you should be able to get rid of.
I don't think you
They're
need
all
to.
electronic now, I think they changed it. So
Yeah,
they-
but these are old ones. I mean, if we scan them, they could, but I don't know.
I don't know that you have to keep the old ones now, because it's, you have to read through the retention, but I don't know that they all have to
Could
be
be
done.
question two.
Yeah. But yeah,
So
this,
that'd be probably an easy win if you get rid of all of them.
Oh, yeah.
oh, there's probably 20, at least 20 little clerks
Yeah.
with those in there, but I just didn't know if anyone wanted to, so we could print out more, which ones we need, because on MTA it has retention for the clerk, the treasurer, and I just did the assessor,
Yeah.
building, right?
Pretty well.
Elections.
Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna get all these.
Because this election, you should probably just, that one.
Yeah, got
So,
all that.
I'm
Now,
not keeping
Bert, he just wants to do a bunch of that, but I can take that too.
So I might keep it in case there's any stuff they find back here.
Yeah.
But I just didn't know if anyone was interested in wanting to meet, I don't know, like, either this Saturday or even for a few
Not
hours.
this Saturday.
Huh?
Not this Saturday.
Okay, next
It's-
week from,
Yeah.
which would be, what day is it?
Start of spring break.
Day before Easter. No, it's not.
Mm-mm.
The 20th.
Yeah, we could condense, we could go through, we could condense down our, budget plan, and then
Yeah, we're
use that
open.
to save time for, retention.
Yeah. 28th, I think.
Just say,
March 28th.
That'll be Saturday, Saturday, the 21st, so yeah.
Yeah, I'm free on the 28th, and I can check with the others to see.
Yeah, you want to do it like at 9 o'clock, is that all?
Sure.
Plan on, I don't know.
Your lawyer will thank you.
But yeah, there's stuff, you know, like that overhead projector, I don't think we really need that anymore. Some of that stuff that's, and I think some of those ledgers, I mean, they're cool old books, but I don't think,
Yeah, I mean, it's history.
yeah,
Maybe donate them to history.
some of them were from like the 90s, you know, all handwritten out and stuff, but, so we'll just plan on March, 28th, Saturday at 9. Do 2 hours and see how far we get. So I think that's it for the agenda items this month. So we have Lindsay, is it?
Miriam.
Miriam, sorry.
It's okay.
I was-
It's on.
I
It's
couldn't remember.
all right. It's okay.
Miriam's from the library. And she's gonna do a little spiel on her.
So the projector does shine in your face. So
Yeah.
if you want to scooch to Civic Center,
What's your last name?
Andress. It is Andres.
get your lights out, guys.
Oh.
Good night.
All right, it's waking up. I fell asleep. Yep. Well, while this thing is warming up, so my name is Miriam Andress. I'm the director of the Grace Day Down Memorial Library, and I am trying to get around to all of the townships by summer, hopefully, because summer is our like really busy season. So I'm trying to.
What library was it?
Grace Day Down.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, and now it's doing weird stuff.
And you just reopened, right?
So we've actually been open the whole time.
Oh.
We just were under construction, and so we had like a portion of the building closed. Let me see if this will do what it's supposed to do here. There we go, perfect, okay. So I grew up in Idaho. I'm from West, and my elementary school, and we just stayed in Michigan. We love Michigan so much. We really do, because there's water and there's trees and there's a lot of people and there's stuff to do. But I grew up in a county, and it was about a 20-minute drive to get into the library for me. And so I really love doing outreach and community services and making sure that services can get out to people in the county, because I know what it's like to live far away from the library. That was my growing up. And so we've had a lot of stuff going on. We've had floods and COVID and construction and trying to catch up on capital projects and roof leaks and all kinds of things. And now that some of that stuff is being managed, now I'm trying to get around to our county partners and go visit the townships and kind of let you know what your partnership means, because you guys are paying for library services so that your residents have access to the library, and I want to make sure that you know what is that? What does that actually get you? What does it get your residents? So this last year the library has actually celebrated 125 years of being open. So we started in 1900. We were actually a literary association you had to pay a membership fee for. Then in 1915, the library turned into a city department when a millage was levied, and Andrew Carnegie helped build the Carnegie Library, which opened in 1919 in the city. And so we are celebrating 125 years of the library and servicing the people in the Midland area. So just some information about the library in general. So we're a Class 6 library, and basically what that means is we serve more than 50,000 people. So we serve 12 townships within Midland County, and we are lumped in with the other really big libraries in the state. So Class 6 is as big as it gets. So when I go to conferences, I'm meeting with the directors of Grand Rapids, Lansing, Detroit, kind of the big libraries, which is great because I get to see what they're doing and get new ideas and be able to bring stuff back to Midland. But we serve 12 townships. We don't serve 2 in the top west corner and the bottom, the southmost west corner, because those are serviced by Coleman and then 2 libraries just south of us in the next county over. But we have 16,000 active library card holders. So that means that we've had 16,000 card holders come in our door in the last 2 years. So granted, we have been under construction for 6 months, and we've had some people avoiding the library for a little while, so some of their cards have lapsed. But specific in your township, we have 2,148 accounts, but of those accounts that we have, 741 have walked in our doors and physically used their card in the last 2 years. Alright, so what do we have at the library? What are the services that you get? So we have over 200,000 items that you can borrow at the library, and of course they include books. Sometimes I forget that yes, we have books at the library, but we have so much more stuff at the library. And you can get books either physically or you can get them electronically. And we have audiobooks if you are somebody that commutes a lot or drives a lot. We have magazines, physical and digital, so if you have a favorite magazine that you'd like to get a subscription for, you can actually get it for free from the library. Just check it out. We also have movies. And if you don't know what to get, we do have a subscription service program where you can actually say, I want to read something, but I don't know what to read. And we will curate a collection for you to pick up at the library. Okay, we have a lot of programming. We have over 1,000 programs roughly that we hold each year, and that we try to make sure that every age group is accounted for, no matter, if you've got kids, if you're an adult, if you're a senior, we want to make sure that there's something for you to do at the library. So these are just some of the examples. We've got a baby time that happened at City Hall when we were temporarily relocated there during our construction process. We have kids' artwork that we put on display. We had the Dow robotics team come in and show little kids how robots work. We have a play structure in our building. We had a mud party. We do events outside where it's really hot, so kids are eating popsicles. But we have a lot of things for children to come in and do at the library. We have programs for our teens and tweens. Some of these pictures are some of our craft programs that teens were doing. We have a cram night where all of the kids from all of the school districts in our service area can come and just study. We feed them, and it's like a lock-in, but for finals. We have classes where we teach sewing, and then we of course have our Battle of the Books programs which are both almost going on 30 years now. So we have a battle of the books for 4th and 5th graders, and then our battle of the books for our middle schoolers, and those are sponsored by our friends at the library, and so the kids who win, they can actually get money that goes to their school to buy books to be housed at their schools.
What goes on in the battle of the books?
So the kids, it varies depending on age, but the elementary one is the one that most people are familiar with. Kids have 10 books that they have to read, and they basically memorize these books, and then it's kind of like quiz bowl style. They have to answer all the questions, and the kids that get the most questions right win. It's very fun, and it's a great way to get kids reading that would not have read otherwise, because there's peer pressure involved from their peers and their teachers. And then of course, our adult programs. And our adult programs vary widely. So if you haven't come to a program at the library and you want something to do, other than our author talks and our presentations, like it was the 50th anniversary of the sinking of the Edmund Fitzgerald, so we did a big program on that anniversary. We have author talks. We have our mid-lab, which I'll talk a little bit about more, where you can come in and create things. We do Lego programs. We have book expos where we have a bunch of authors that come and talk, and you can come buy stuff with books, book themed. We do tech help, so if you get a new iPad for Christmas, or you got a new phone and you need help downloading an app onto it, or or whatever, you can come in and our staff will help you with your device so that you can get it set up. And then of course we have a lot of family programs and community-based programs. So if you haven't heard of Neighboring Week, the Community Foundation has really been trying to amp that up, and the mayor asked that we come up with some kind of program to bring the community together. So we do floats with goats. We have celebrity servers from town that come and scoop ice cream, and we dish out about 1,000 root beer floats that evening, and we have 30 goats and some cows and a camel. Everyone can come and check out the petting zoo and have a root beer float. We have our summer reading kickoff. This is our summer reading kickoff from 2 years ago, but this year we are actually partnering with Whiting Forest and Dow Gardens, and we are doing a pancake breakfast on June 6th. You can come and sign up, have free pancakes, and then go see all of their giant animatronic dinosaurs that they're going to have in the gardens. And then Touch a Truck, which has been going on for about 30, 40 years now, where kids can come in and check out the heavy equipment, but it's also an opportunity for kids to go in a school bus for the first time, perhaps before they start school. And they have that chance to know, what does a school bus look like before they actually start school just a couple months later. With your library card, we have a lot of digital resources, and I'll try to go through these quick, but we have over 20 digital platforms that have different levels of information in them. So consumer reports, I'm sure you're familiar with. You need to know how many cup holders are in a car that you're looking at, or you need to figure out what electric toothbrush is going to be best. That is a great spot for you. Digital magazines, as I said, with Libby, and ebooks and audiobooks. Creative Bug is a database where it will teach you how to do any kind of crafting hobby, from watercolor, crochet, knitting, painting, needlework, felting, all those things. It teaches the class, gives you the list of the things, the supplies that you need for it. Learning Express Library is great if you have anybody in your life that is looking at studying for tests, whether it's ACT, SAT, the OAT, the DAT, the MCAT, the realtor's license, nursing degree. It allows you to log in, make an account, you actually take the test, it grades the test, tells you what you got wrong, and gives you all of the study materials so that you don't get those wrong when you take the test again.
That was on the.
Yeah, it's Learning Express Library. Yep. The Michigan Electronic Library, so you might not know, but because you are residents of the state of Michigan, the state actually has a state library, which you can use. So you just need a driver's license to be able to access it. If you are close enough to the side of Michigan where it thinks you're in Wisconsin or Illinois, here you're going to be fine. You can just log in. But it has everything from historical records from towns all over the state to how to fix your car, you can type in your make and model of your car, and it has all of the diagrams and parts that might be missing or probable issues that there could be with it. There's just a plethora of resources. It's actually over $60 million worth of information that the state negotiates with different information databases to ensure that the residents of Michigan have access to good information that is not being supplied by a commercial entity or somebody that's got something to gain from it. Weiss Financial Ratings, that is again a neutral party financial database. It lets you do basic budgeting, insurance. If you are looking at getting new insurance or decreasing your insurance rates, you can actually view insurance companies locally in our area, and it will tell you how good they are at actually paying out claims. So that's a really nice resource. LinkedIn Learning is for anybody that is trying to brush up on any kind of digital or work skills. So if you need to get better at Microsoft Word, Excel, you're building a website, you are trying to manage your time better, any of that kind of information, you can get LinkedIn Learning and use it for that. We have a lot of businesses that they actually send their employees in to get library cards from us because they use it specifically for training employees. We have Canopy, which has over 30.
Before you go on,
Yep.
so if you wanted to learn some website stuff that you can learn how to do.
Yep.
The things
It
that
has-
you're training.
Yep, it has over 5,000 classes on how to use different digital platforms. Canopy is a streaming platform, so you can think of it as Netflix, but for libraries. If you have a smart TV at your house, you can download the Canopy app and you can check out movies and watch them on there. And it also has a kids portal, so you can watch kids TV shows and things like that. The Midland Daily News, if you have a library card, then you can access the Midland Daily newspaper from the comfort of your home. The minute it is available digitally, you don't have to have a subscription, and you just log onto the library's website and have access to that. You can read the newspaper in your pajamas. You don't have to wait for the postman to deliver it. And then we have Ancestry, which if you're into genealogy or family history, you do have to come into the library to use this one because Ancestry only allows libraries to have access to it. It's not available at your home, but we do have it. Alright, so other things that are available to card holders only. So you have to have a library card to come in and use what we call the MidLab, which stands for Modern Innovation Design Lab. The MidLab has 3D printers, laser cutters, it has a sublimation machine. Those are the things that let you put pictures on cups and mugs and t-shirts and mouse pads and all those fun things. Our MidLab was actually part of the reason that we had some of our renovations. We opened it in 2023, and it very, very quickly outgrew its space. And so we ended up moving it up to the main floor, and it is available for anybody 12 or older, as long as they have a library card. And for the most part, it is free to use all of the things in this space. The only exception is if you need to buy a mug, we sell the mugs at cost. Because you're already paying tax dollars to use the space, we don't want to charge you extra for the other things. But if you're interested at all in learning how to laser engrave, or learning how to laser cut stuff, or 3D print things, or sew, or embroider, we teach classes on how to do all of the things, and then you can come in and use the space on your own free time outside of class hours.
By the way, this isn't a paid political announcement to everybody, but the shirts that I wore for my campaign, we made it here at the MidLab.
Yeah.
They showed us how to do it with all the things. Actually, they took a picture. They were going to put it on their thing and realized, wait, there might be a support. So they took it, but people that are incredibly helpful.
Yeah.
And they're just fantastic.
Yep, and it's run by a lot of, so I have a staff member that runs it, but a lot of the people that are helping are just volunteers. It's folks that have retired and they needed something to do and they came in and used it and they liked it and they just kind of stayed. And so it's a really great way to just be creative.
Used to be called graphic arts when I went to high school.
Yeah.
They've got a brand new giant laser printer
Mhm.
that will cut 1/4-inch plywood without any trouble.
Yeah.
So I'm waiting for them to have the training classes for that.
Yep, we're supposed to get the last in the doors hopefully next week. It was supposed to be this week, but we're not holding our breath. So then we also have our library of things. So we have our seed library, which you can check out seeds. It's actually just opened on the 9th of March. You check out seeds, you plant them in your garden. We hold classes on how to save those seeds. You turn them back into the library, they're saved for the next season, and then we end up having a hardy crop of seeds that will actually grow in our area really well. But if you kill your plants, we are not gonna judge you. You don't have to pay a fine or anything. But then we have our library of things. It includes everything from board games, puzzles, yard games, knit and crochet kits. We have robot, Lego kits, we have barcode readers, we have metal detectors, we have underwater metal detectors, metal fishing things, thermal cameras, ice cream makers, canopies. I mean, we just have tons of things. It's basically something that you might need because you dropped your keys in the snow and don't want to go buy a $200 metal detector. Well, you just check it out from the library. We had 14 people check out metal detectors to find keys in the snow this winter. That's why we mentioned that, because it was very applicable.
Now,
And
is that a canopy that you can rent?
Yes, yep, you can rent canopies. We also have tables and chairs, which become really popular during garage sale season and graduate party season. And then we do outreach. So we do outreach, bringing people into the building, and then we go out of our building. So we do this a couple of different ways. We go to the parades, we set up library lemonade stands at different parks around the county, and we have lemonade, and then we do programs to try to get people to come to different spaces. We go to different festivals that we are invited to. We Township, we've been to their fall festival each year because they called, and we said, sure, we'd love to. So we go
You've
there.
actually been to our fall, I mean,
Yeah.
we do ours in the summer
Yeah.
3 times, so.
We have third
Appreciate
grade tours. We bring every student in third grade, whether they're in a parochial school or public school, and they come in and tour the library, and they get free books, and we talk to them about how libraries work and what our library is like. And then we go to special events that are held as well. We also have my library staff go to classrooms and do class visits, and we bring teachers teacher totes. So if teachers in our school district need special materials, we will collect them, we deliver them to the schools, and then pick them up when the teachers are done.
So you do that in the fall, or when you do the teachers?
We
or getting the
do,
third graders in?
third grade tours are happening right now, actually. Yeah, if you look on our website, we actually have a warning, because in the mornings from 9 to 11:30, there's just third graders everywhere. And so we tell people, just so you know, there's third graders in the building. So we try to make sure that everything, no matter if you're old or young, or you just got a job, or you just retired, that there is something for you to do at the library, because our mission at the library is to connect people to resources. And sometimes people just think, well, that's just connecting people to books, but it's not. It doesn't matter if you're trying to find the name of a choir director in town because you want to join a community choir, or if you're trying to find your long lost ancestor, we are there to try to connect you to whatever those resources are. So just a little bit about how the library works. So we have 2 boards at the library, and I appreciate you letting me drop in on your meeting tonight, because this is actually my library board meeting night, and it got canceled because I didn't have enough to make a quorum, so it was kind of a last minute thing. But we have a library advisory board. It is appointed by the city council, and there is a township representative on my board. His name is Bill Rickards, and he is from Jerome Township. And I can get you his information if you're interested, but his job is to make sure that the townships are part of the discussion, that we're not forgetting about them when we're doing project planning and policy planning at the library. Then I have my friends of the library board. They're not geographically bound, they're volunteers from all over, but they primarily help us raise funds to do special programs at the library. For example, all of the third grade tours, all of the busing for third grade tours coming to the library is paid for by the friends of the library. And then the expenses of the library. So we have 54 staff at the library. I've got 17 full-time staff, and the rest are part-time. And that obviously eats up the majority of our budget. It's staffing, the people that run the place. So we also purchase a lot of books and materials, and everything that I talked about, all those databases and resources, those go into that books and materials budget. And then we have our other operating costs for the facility. Things like heating, cooling, electricity, and all those fun things. Our total expenses last year was 4.5 million, and our total revenues last year were 5.6. We ended up somehow getting way more personal property tax allotted to us than we were anticipating, which was a good thing, but we hadn't been planning on it. And then we of course have our contracts with the townships and penal fines. And for those of you that didn't know, if you get a speeding ticket in Midland County, a portion of that ticket actually goes to either us or Pullman, and it's based on population. So for each township, penal fines are divvied out by the county, and then a portion comes to the library, and a portion goes to Pullman's library, because we're the only two libraries in the county, and then our contract revenue, of course. Okay, so real numbers from our 24-25 fiscal year. So we had about 180,000 visits to the library, and about 600,000 items actually checked out, physical items, not our electronic. We had about 250,000 digital items that were borrowed, and 28,000 people that came to our programs. We answered 43,000 reference questions, people coming into the library needing help finding something or doing something, and then 231,000 visits to our library's website. So as I mentioned, we've been under construction for a little while. We just opened on the 23rd of February, fully opened on the 23rd of February, but we were working on better meeting the needs of our community. We are one of the last free places that you can just come and telework or meet with a community group and have free Wi-Fi. And we have found, especially since COVID, that we have people that are spending all day at our facility because they are either working or they're either traveled and they stop in the library. I think people just, and there's also places in town that closed that used to accommodate folks. And so we just find that our space is very much in demand. So we were able to put in this kitchen in the lower level. This allows parents to eat with their kids or grandparents to eat with their grandchildren and have a snack at the library so that they can stay a little bit longer in our space. Up in the top left, this is our quiet room, but it is also now our Friends of the Library retail market. So they have books for sale there, and that helps raise some funds to do programs and things that we do at the library. The picture on the top right, that is one of our new study pods. People can meet in there and tutor, have small meetings. We have a lot of custody trade-offs that happen at the library as well, and they meet in there with their social workers.
So can they rent I mean, I don't know how many that study pod would hold.
So the pods fit 4, or, I mean, it could fit 6, but 4 is very comfortable. And they're just on demand.
So
You
just
show up and
first come, first
yep,
served?
first come, first
You
served.
can't reserve them.
No, those
Are
aren't
there-
reservable.
Are there any other conference rooms? that
Yes,
you-
yep, we have 3 other conference rooms, and then we have a lounge, which you'll see a picture of. We have our community room, of course, which fits 50, and then we have our auditorium, which fits 262. And I don't have anything about like our community room or our auditorium, but they are, I don't know how much you charge for your township hall, but ours are like the cheapest place in town. I rented our auditorium for my daughter's birthday, and we watched a movie with all of her friends, because it was $25. So, it's pretty darn cheap. We want to make sure that spaces are accessible for community members, and if they can't afford to use another space, their tax dollars are already going to help pay for the library. So really the fee that we charge is to make sure they actually show up, and then also our maintenance staff to set up and tear down whatever they need. So this is what our lower level in the youth services area looks like now. So my graphic designer that is also in charge of the mid-lab, we wanted to brighten up the youth services space, and so he created custom wallpaper that is all throughout the lower level now. So you can see Lake Superior with the Edmund Fitzgerald at the bottom is in our nonfiction section. We have a Michigan woodlands, and then we have the state of Michigan, which is kind of cut off there. You can't see it quite in the bottom left-hand corner. But all of our wallpaper also coincides with a seek and find, so kids can learn about the fish that live in the Great Lakes, all of our state birds and animals, and all of those fun things. So it's educational and colorful. So we also needed more just sitting spaces in the library. We didn't have a lot of places where someone could sit down and read or meet with somebody else, and so that was something that we really wanted to do. So our Friends of the Library actually purchased all of the furniture that you see in these 3 pictures. So we have our fireplace area, they got a refresh, and new furniture. The room that's on the top left, that is also a reservable space, it's called the lounge. And then the seating area on the top right is our large print area. And then again, the library is a place to work and play. One of the things that libraries don't do very well is, for whatever reason, we didn't have places for middle school kids. We have a teen room, we had a place for little kids, but we did not have a place for kids that are like 3rd grade, kind of that 8 to 12-year-old. So with this renovation, the room that's on the right, we were able to add that space. It has a Lego wall, it has a big craft corner, and it has some reading pods, and then there's a bunch of games and tables for the kids that are in that 3rd to 6th grade now can come and hang out at the library. Those are our kids that have stopped learning to read, and they are reading to learn. And we wanted to make sure that they felt that they could continue coming to the library and continue to read. We have our public computers that moved to the upstairs, and we do have print and copy services available as well. And then we have our play structure, which is in the lower level, and it has been very, very popular and very, very busy since we've opened, because we don't have a children's museum here in Midland, and we thought, where are parents going? They have to go to McDonald's and buy food, so we wanted a free place that parents could bring their kids, especially when it's nice and cold outside or super, super hot. So we are always trying to improve the library. We're growing our digital access. We've built onto our Midlab and made it larger. We are always looking for ways to better serve the community and reach the residents wherever they're at, whether it's at their home, whether it's at their business, whether it's here at the Township Hall. And then we're also working with a lot of community partners to ensure that folks that want to improve their careers or grow their businesses have access to resources that they need as well. Which is one of the reasons that I'm here, because I want to ensure that if you have needs in your township, or if there's some way that we can partner with you to do things, we are looking for those partnerships, because we want to make sure that your residents are getting the needs that they have. Some of the things that we've talked about with, that I've talked about with some of the other townships that I visited, is we've been looking at starting like a books by mail program. So if there's somebody that has mobility issues and they cannot actually physically drive anymore, or they cannot see, that we can actually mail audiobooks to their house, or get them set up with the Library of Michigan that has a library for the blind. Or is it putting a library locker out at your township hall, so people don't have to drive into Midlands to pick up their materials, they can come to the township hall instead. So we're looking at some different things that we can do to better meet the needs of our residents that don't live right in the city proper.
We have some, and there's, in the senior citizens, there's some people who do, I mean, they're Meals on Wheels, for example, but some of those might be able to coordinate trips that people, those needing that, maybe would use that. So that's another potential source, and clientele potentially
Yep.
too, people from that center.
Yep, yeah, that's a fantastic idea. So, what would people do to be able to make sure that they're accessing the resources that we have? So first, of course, get a library card. It's easy to get a library card. You can actually fill out an application online, and if you can't come into the city, we can actually mail you your library card so you can have access to the digital resources. We do have an app at the library, and the app allows you to check your account. It has your digital library card on it. It has all of our programs on it, and it has all of our social media on it, which brings me to the next two. So you can sign up for our electronic newsletter. We send it out twice a month, just to your email. We also have a calendar that has a list of all of the events that we have going on at the library, and you can sort it based on your wants or needs, whether it's for kids, or it's for adults, or it's for seniors. And then, of course, social media, we have a Facebook and an Instagram where we post a lot of our events that are happening, but then we also post extra things. So during construction, for example, I would go through and show videos of what was happening with the construction, so that people kind of knew where we were at and what was happening at the building. things that are coming up. So starting on May 4th, we are going to be doing a front landscaping renovation. For those of you that are familiar with the library, we have 3 very large planter beds that are right next to our auditorium side of the building. And nothing really grows in them except weeds. Well, that's because there is no sprinklers. We have no irrigation there. And so we're going to be putting in irrigation, but we're also going to be putting in some, you can see in the top right-hand corner, some brick kind of benches. Those are for safety, so that people can stop walking on the parking lot side of the sidewalk and will walk closer to the building. And should someone mix up the gas and the brake pedal, they're not going to get cut over by a vehicle, because right now a lot of that parking lot is barrier-free, and so it is very easy for a car to drive up onto our sidewalk, which they do. Because in the 80s, the library did not have any sidewalks out front. You could pull right up to the building, and we do still have people try to do that on occasion. There will be new outdoor furniture for people to be able to use the free Wi-Fi and hang outside when it's a nice night. But probably everybody's favorite part of this is we are going to be getting a drive-through book drop, so they can not have to come into the building to return their materials. And I've had a lot of excited people about a drive-through book drop. All right, so that was my presentation. I very much appreciate you letting me come. Do you have any questions?
With the sense that with flood, we feel today, flood is always a potential issue. What was done to prevent or help the building regarding flooding?
Yeah, so the Raven Library sits in the backyard. There used to be a V shape, and the bottom of the V was in the floodplain. And so when we flooded, when the dams broke, the water came in that V and then poured into the back of the library. So we were actually to obtain a permit from Eagle to build a dam back there and be able to leave it. We actually built a dam while we were actively flooding. It stopped the water, then we pumped the water over our little dam that we built, and we got permission from Eagle to keep it. And they said, we're good, so we're keeping it. So actually next spring, in 27, we're gonna be redoing the whole backyard of the library and putting in erosion control and trying to make an outdoor programming space back there. So it should not flood again in any of the ways that it has flooded. Next time if we ever flood, it's gonna be somebody flushed something down the toilet they weren't supposed to. So hopefully that won't happen. Any other questions? And I did bring some bags for you. This has information about the library. And if there's anything that you can think of, whether it is newsletters you send out to your residents, or postcards, or something that you could host here in the Township Hall, and we can get information out to the residents about the resources they have available to the library, we would be happy to make anything, or do anything, or whatever you think would help to make sure that your residents know that they've got access to these resources. So please let me know, and my business card is in the bags. Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Mary. Thank you. Okay, any other public comments at this time?
Let's see, I guess I was gonna mention, since you came in, or I didn't know if John was here to mention, the B program, they talked about that at NCTOA, that with the internet, they're starting to make, some breakthrough has come, and so now we're gonna start seeing some construction. They also now have 2 different low orbit satellite stuff that they can do for internet. The equipment is free for people to have, for homeowners if they don't have one, so that's going to be another provider, and the rate is like 50 or 80, 60 bucks a month or something, which wasn't unreasonable at all. I know it's just that you have phone and other kind of things. I don't know how that's going to work, but so there's some stuff happening with that. So we're going to be aware about that too. So.
Thanks, Larry. Anybody else? Any announcements? Yes, meeting adjourned.